Instant latte. So things I have missed about New Jersey: family, friends, my cat, my espresso machine, my FC07. Things I haven't missed: this 30-degree weather. So the Scout machine turned 100 on this trip. 100 hours, that is. It's got a little more than that now, but a lot of people often ask what sort of maintenance is required with paramotors. And if you follow along in these videos, I've pretty much shown every bit of maintenance I do to my motors. You know, like the 25-hour maintenance of the bushing kit on the exhaust. And that's pretty much it. I can't think of a single problem I've had with this motor in its 100 hours of service. So good on you, Vitarazi. I did, however, notice in cleaning her up, I broke another exhaust spring. That happened one other time. I'm 3 hours overdue for my bushing spring change on the exhaust, and I kind of dropped the ball. I didn't have an extra kit laying on standby to swap, so that's on order. In the meantime, I have to hope that I have a spare spring laying somewhere. All right, got her sealed up. I'm always saving old broken parts that you would never think you would need to reuse, unless you're in a pinch, and I was in a pinch. So spring is replaced. I'm gonna safety wire it for extra safety. Luckily, in both cases where I broke a spring, the fragment that came off didn't hurt the prop, and the safety wire held the bulk of the spring, so that's good. Aside from that, the Scout, as I said, has about 100 hours. So I went ahead and I have a new paramotor on order. It should be here hopefully towards the end of January. More on that later. So the plan for tonight is we're gonna go down to the park and just have a good old shenanigan fest. Jeff is gonna be there, Judson's gonna be there, but it's freezing cold outside. It's like about 30 and kind of overcast right now. So I'm not really planning on like long flights. I think we're just gonna like go out for 15 minutes, buzz around till my fingers get numb, land, and just have a good old time.
Careful. Careful. Oh! Blew my wing! Dang, kids these days. The Judson machine is coming in for a quick landing. Oh, look at that foot drag! Well, obviously, we've made it to the park. We got Jeff and Judson in the air right now. And this is it. This is the dream. Back in New Jersey for the first flight yet. Freezing my face off because it's 30 degrees. It is mother truckin' cold. I think the old Judson mobile is changing its hang point. Check this out. I'm gonna try to get revenge on Judson. See if I can blow away his wing. So Judson landed, and I think he tried to fix his hang point, but it still looks pretty screwed up. Okay, so this is interesting. Judson killed his motor. I'm gonna give him space, but I'm gonna watch and see where he spot lands. I don't know if his motor died or if he decided to kill it that high. I don't think he would decide to kill it that high. Looks like he's got it in the bag. There he goes. Nice landing. All right, time for a bit of a landing. What happened?
It just shut off like somebody hit the kill switch.
It looks like you have gas. Oh, it's so cold. Fuel ones are good, right? Yeah. Well, she's dickered. Thingle thangle's attached. Doohickey. Wangle jangle. I think it needs more wiper fluid. Yeah. As long as you get past climb out and get altitude, you'll be fine.
I'll give her a real long.
Mayday, mayday, Judson down. That didn't sound right.
What?
That didn't sound right.
Did you hear it get weird?
Yeah, what did it sound like to you?
It sounded like some kind of rattling, but then the throttle got really mucky. Did you hear me going like revving it?
Yeah.
That was like hitting full throttle and letting off.
Ooh. Yeah, something's messed up inside it.
Shit.
Right there.
Clutch come apart? No.
No, there's something internally's broken. She gave it all she's got. She needs a rebuild. Give her CPR. Well, there she is on the operating table. What we know so far is Judson was flying it and it shut off immediately. And Jacqueline and I had some issues with the primer system not working. And what we found after he landed, spot landed perfectly, was that it didn't have fuel to the carb. Once we got fuel to the carb, it started up, and then he took off, and like a minute into the flight, it started to make like a rattling, shaking sound, and Judson came in, landed immediately, and now when you spin the propeller, look at this, it spins normal, 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 and then you hit this dead spot where it notches. So that's where we're at. We're gonna tear it apart and see what the issue might be. So after the fact, the question is, was there one problem that led to a second, or were they two independent problems? In my opinion, I think that they were two independent problems and they just happened at the same time, basically. The argument would be is if there was a leak in the fuel line, would that cause the engine to go lean all of a sudden and that caused it to blow up? My opinion is no, because it happened before, and if air is introduced into the fuel line, it causes the engine to chug and sputter. None of that happened. When the engine was running, it was running great and smooth and fine. Now, I've read online that there was some sort of defect with a round of pistons or something, that the pin that's supposed to lock the ring around the piston in place, the hole is drilled too deep or something, that pin eventually works its way too deep or falls out. That allows the ring to spin, and then the ring gets caught on the exhaust or intake port within the cylinder. And that's exactly what looks like happened. I'm kind of glad it waited until we got back home to self-destruct. Even still, it's kind of unfortunate. We won't have a motor for Jacqueline or Judson to share for a little while. The kind folks at Aviator are going to rebuild her. We actually have a trip planned for Florida. We haven't picked dates, but sometime the end of January or early February, we're gonna make a run down to Florida and just escape the cold, do some beach flying, hang out with the guys down there, and we'll get the engine sorted out while we're down there. So that's about all I've got for this one. Stay tuned. If you liked the video, drop a like. If you haven't yet, check out the web store, tuckergott.com, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.